That hot mess that they air in the mornings called The View had to issue not one, not two, not three, but 4 corrections, legal corrections, 4 legal notes. Not to mention what they did at that debate, where once again, they tried to fact check only one side. And then when their fact checks got fact checked, they cowered. They cowered in fear. I mean, this is a pattern with them.
I think the problem with that show is that show has this very specific ideological bubble in which they operate in. Mm-hmm. You know, and they always bring on a token conservative woman and they yell over her and silence her. And, you know, they did
that chaotic train wreck they air every morning, The View, didn't just make a small mistake. They got 4 things legally wrong. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 separate legal errors aired live on national television. And when they tried to fact-check only one side during a heated debate, their facts were fact-checked right back at them.
Go for it. Yeah,
there's nothing there. Sometimes comics do that.
Yeah, and the other question is then, is that representative of a big constituency? I think probably yes.
Well, a lot of
MSNBC viewers are probably also thinking,
I don't even think the MSNBC viewers, I think
that's
they're a
too
little
far.
bit more sophisticated than that.
Yeah.
This is like low information, blue no matter who, like older housewives who are mad at the world. That's the appeal that Whoopi Goldberg.
The real problem with The View is their completely sealed off ideological bubble. Genuine disagreement isn't explored or debated, it's shouted down. Whenever they bring on a token conservative voice, they talk over her, drown her out, or silence her entirely, just like they did with Megyn Kelly.
Will be sworn in as the 47th president of the United States, yay, on January 20th of this month. Not everyone's happy about it, and many people would like us to be more focused on the insurrection that he personally unleashed, if you ask them. As we discussed earlier, they think it's as bad as like the Holocaust, and you don't have to take my word for it. Here is Sunny Hostin of
January
The View
6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, you know, like World War II, things that happened, you know, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery.
Yeah, the January 6th is right up there next to...
That carefully crafted illusion finally cracked when Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly teamed up. Their criticism was so precise and relentless that it visibly rattled one of the hosts, leaving her shaken and struggling to maintain her composure on live television.
In fairness, though, I mean, The View has to be... you know, if you average out The View hosts, among the dumbest people on television. And it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth. But
I don't think some of them are dumb.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think Sunny Hostin.
You think it's deliberate?
I think she's ideologically driven, and they have blinders on, for sure. I don't think Sunny's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and you like it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it and just...
Then Joe Rogan steps in. Typical View morning chaos unfolds. 5 women talking over each other. No one actually listening. Just constant interruptions. Joy Behar flails, panicking mid-sentence. Whoopi Goldberg stares off into space, lost in thought, or maybe just checking out. Another host argues with reality itself, twisting facts to fit the moment. And the audience? They cheer whenever buzzwords like empowerment or democracy are dropped, clapping for slogans rather than substance.
She's Anna Navarro in your wildest imagination. You could never solo host a show. You will only ever make it as part of an ensemble, and you could never hope to achieve the success that Tucker Carlson has. So you can sit in your little cheap seats all day long and enjoy your little negative henpecking, but your careers are going nowhere, and Tucker is about to dominate in whatever.
Not all the hosts are clueless. Sunny Host, for example, is intelligent, but clearly trapped by her own ideological lens. Whoopi Goldberg? Less so. Her statements often barely make sense. Half-baked ideas are presented as fully formed arguments, and chaos reigns. That's when Rogan steps in. Calm, confident, and able to cut through the nonsense instantly. The same man who effortlessly interviews astronauts, monks, and conspiracy theorists alike, now navigating a room full of shouting hosts with ease and authority.
hot mess that they air in the mornings called The View had to issue not one, not two, not three, but 4 corrections, legal corrections. 4 legal notes. We only have 3 of them on camera, but look at this.
I have another legal note.
God.
Both Trump and Pam Bondi have denied allegations of a quid pro quo. I have a legal note.
You want to take this one, Joy, or are you
Matt
good?
Gaetz has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime.
That's true.
Also, another legal note. Pete Hegseth's lawyer said he paid the woman in 2023 to head off the threat of a baseless lawsuit.
Oh.
He has denied any wrongdoing.
Not to mention what they did at that debate, where once again, they tried to fact check only one side, and then when their fact checks got fact checked, they cowered. They cowered in fear. I mean,
Then Megyn Kelly enters the scene. Neither Fox nor NBC ever managed to contain her, and now she's armed with a microphone, receipts, and a detailed file on daytime TV hypocrisy. She doesn't raise her voice, she slices through the contradictions with precision, exposing inflated egos like intellectual trophies, and effortlessly shredding The View's credibility in a single glance. Paired with Joe Rogan, they become a tag team that leaves PR teams scrambling in full emergency mode, trying to contain the damage before it spreads any further.
She's very intelligent, but she's ideologically captured.
Right.
You know, that's sort of. I think the other ones. There's a couple of the other ones. Don't have to name any names. Are just very dull-minded. But I think Sonny's not one of them. I think she's smart but captured.
Sure,
And,
I think she came into it with an agenda.
of course,
You know,
they do.
Hot mess mornings on The View somehow require 4 separate legal notes. Trump denies it. Pam Bondi denies it. Pete Haggith denies it. No charges, no crimes, but the show airs the claims anyway. Watching the hosts stumble through on-air legal disclaimers felt like a courtroom crashing into a gossip-filled theater. Absurd, chaotic, and strangely revealing. It exposed just how little fact-checking and responsibility exist behind the show's carefully staged chaos.
Trump came out and said she's about as pro-choice as they come. And here was the reaction on The View.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
They agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want to have anything
She
to do
doesn't
with
care
him.
about that.
She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Would you look? This is a network that still runs out fact checks to these women, like it's concerned about them staying factual. She hates Trump. She doesn't want to be near him. She doesn't want to be president again. She destroyed the Rose Garden and she hates Christmas. That is what passes for news on a network. They did it.
Rogan gets straight to the heart of the problem. The hosts don't really watch, they don't check the facts, and they often don't understand the topics they're debating. What they do is perform outrage, putting on a show, rather than providing information. Volume has replaced accuracy, and applause has replaced truth.
Joy would pay her. If I saw her, I'd give her a hug. I'd probably say the same thing about me if I was her. You're worried about losing your job, and you're worried about
Kelly brings surgical precision, dissecting every claim with careful reasoning. Rogan brings calm clarity, cutting through the noise with facts, transcripts, and real research that goes far beyond flashy headlines. Whoopi claims Biden could jail all Republicans, a statement so absurd it collapses the moment it's examined. Joy Behar accuses Rogan of spreading hate, yet a quick 30-second fact check exposes the reality.
What Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it because it's so
On TV.
crazy.
She said
on television.
You know, just let's look at a scenario where the Supreme Court says, yes, he has all those rights. He is immune from everything.
Yeah.
You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president?
What?
He could throw every Republican in jail.
The View's carefully constructed media bubble finally bursts. Rogan and Kelly cut through the staged outrage, shallow research, and performative moral superiority that the show relies on. Volume doesn't equal virtue, and emotional panic doesn't equal truth. When a UFC commentator and a former news anchor calmly dismantle your arguments point by point.
Hey, this is the most important part. This is right after she was saying, we are run by ABC News. You should trust us, not Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. So she by saying we should trust them because they're double checked by ABC News, and then making the stupidest fucking statement. Like you didn't listen to what I said. Yeah. You didn't listen to what the wildlife biologist, and that's only
their facts were fact-checked right back at them, leaving them flustered and backing down. This wasn't a one-time slip-up. It's a pattern, a consistent display of carelessness and bias that seems to happen more often than not.